Have you ever wondered if aftermarket parts are the same as your OEM parts from a company like Woods Equipment? Well, hi, I'm Greg with German-Bliss Equipment. We're your online Woods parts supplier. Today I want to answer that question. Basically the question you need to be asking is, every part I see from an aftermarket company the same as what the OEM produces? And the answer is probably not. Let me give you an example here. Here we have a set of Woods blades that you would get in a Woods box that's prepared just for your need. This blade is made to certain specs. It's got a certain dimension for the bolt hole size. There's a certain amount of steel that's used here and a quality of steel that's being used. Not too long ago we had an aftermarket parts company that came into us that asked us to begin marketing their aftermarket parts. And we said, well, hey, here's some examples of what we sell right now as OEM. What do you have that's comparable to it? So they brought in their blade. Their blade had the same length as our blade, as the OEM, had the same width as the OEM. That's about where the comparison stopped. The issue was that the blade thickness was radically different. And I had no idea what material it was made out of, but I know there wasn't as much material there. So the question is, would that blade perform the same as this Woods blade? And the answer is probably not. Woods engineers specifically use this type of steel in this capacity, this length, this thickness, for a reason. They wanted to make sure that you, as the Woods equipment owner, had a great experience. And you can't do that when the products that are being put on there from a parts replacement standpoint aren't the same. Something's going to fail prematurely, and when something like a blade potentially fails prematurely, that obviously has some consequences. Another item that we sell a lot of are these replacement roller assemblies. This is an anti-scalp roller. And Woods makes this specifically for one of their finish decks. You can see this is a bearing supported finish roller. It's engineered with a certain amount of width, but what is actually the thing that's absorbing all of the damage? Well, it's this roller itself right here. This roller is built to a certain spec, and the material that's been engineered for giving you the longest life possible. Is that going to be the same as what the aftermarket gives? Doubtful. Spindle assemblies. We sell lots of these because guess what? Spindles eventually in the life cycle of a mower fail. And we have a very simple design here that you unbolt what you've got, you reinstall with this right here, this brand new one assembly, and next thing you know you've got a product that is ready to work. OEM manufacturers build these to a certain spec. The issue becomes when an aftermarket company is trying to market their product, they may use a casting that's less heavy, they may use bearings that are substandard. Who knows if the specs externally are the same so your bolt holes line up. Not a problem you want to try to figure out on a Saturday afternoon once your shipment came in from the aftermarket to find out it doesn't fit. Belts. Belts are belts, right? I mean, everybody can build a belt, and the reality is that belts are not the same. Customers regularly call and say, hey, can I just go down to the auto parts store and throw that belt on there, and will it be the same as my OEM belt from Woods? And the answer clearly is no. Primarily it could be the same length, might have the same dimensions as far as what the width is, but the material that Woods belts are made out of are designed to give you the longest life possible. Guess what? This Woods belt is working in junk all the time. Grass, debris, wet conditions, dry conditions, gives you a long life that the aftermarket may not give. So when you're looking at blades, belts, spindles, whatever it might be, there might be a few dollars difference. But the reality is it going to give you the value on the backside so that on Saturday afternoon when something fails, is it going to be because you had a substandard part, or is it going to fail just because it was time for it to wear out? That's a big difference in questions. German-Bliss Equipment is here to help you. We're your online parts supplier for Woods equipment and a number of other parts. We have experienced people on hand to help you with any questions you have. You can reach us by going to www.germanbliss.com. You can talk to us by chat, by text, by email, but we're here to help. Remember, you can't miss with German-Bliss.